going back to what you said when you went to the franchisee conventions back in the days, I think the Blockbuster franchise fee was somewhere between $150,000 to $700,000. It was a big number. You weren't paying a small number. You could end up paying $700,000 to get the whole thing going. When you went to the conventions at the time and Netflix is coming out and all these other guys were coming out, did you hear the leaders at the top, downplay that there's no way that's going to work? Did you hear them bring up Netflix and other competitors regularly? Or was there more, people are never going to get away from renting from a movie, renting from a store like ours. We're always going to be in business. What did you hear from the messaging at the top? Now, obviously, I'm saying this. I know you are now working for Blockbuster's franchisee with Ken and Debbie, and Dish owns you. So it's not like you're calling out your existing CEOs.
No.
I'm just trying to find out what it was like when you went to the conventions.
So there was, when I first started going to conventions, I was, like I said, new. I mean, I had only been with the company for less than a year. So a lot of this stuff was pretty new to me. And I was really just dumbfounded by the kind of schmoozing, I guess you want to call it. It was more that the corporate world would come in and, oh yeah, we're franchise owners, let's go in there, and kind of, they weren't really giving us a lot of information, or at least wise for me, the average franchisee. Now, I don't know, we had the ABF, which was our franchise business consultants. They were, a big group. And I know Ken was involved in that at one point. And I know that they probably had better communication with the corporate Blockbuster higher ups than we did as just the franchisee sitting at the table in the convention room. But from what I saw was just a lot more of them trying to, pat us on the back. Hey, you guys are all doing a good job, kind of give us a lot of lip service. I mean, I guess there's no other, positive way to say it. I mean, that's basically what it felt like. And it didn't necessarily feel like they were taking all of those things seriously to us. It's like you bring up a conversation. It's like, oh, well, we're doing this, this, and this. And of course, everything is all positive. There wasn't, you've been in conference meetings before.
Many.
With different businesses. And you know how it goes. I don't want to hear what positive things. I want to see action. I want to see results. And it's like, you can give me all the lip service you want. You can tell me how wonderful it's going to be. But if I don't actually see results and I'm not getting any answers, then you're just giving me words coming out of your mouth to make me happy because I'm here for 3 days and then I'm going back home. And it's like, I want to see a real plan of what we're going to do as a result of this. Our numbers were starting to go down, and really here at our locations, we had the benefit of not having any corporate stores around us. And we had a Hollywood Video here in town, and we had some mom and pops, but we had 4 stores here in Bend. So we definitely had, the bigger market, I guess you want to say, or we had the bigger piece of the pie here in town. And so we probably didn't feel the effects that some of the bigger towns felt, in Texas and different places where they had lots of corporate owned Blockbusters and lots of franchise owners. So, I mean, we had, good producing stores and we made good money here at the time, but we still were feeling the effects of having Redbox across the street. We were still feeling the effects of Netflix. We were still hearing customers coming in going, oh, you work at Blockbuster. Blockbuster's old news. I remember now when I walk into Costco, people see me and recognize me from Blockbuster. They're like super excited. And, oh my God, you work at the coolest place ever. I remember when I'd go into into Costco and different places and not want to tell people I worked at Blockbuster because I didn't want to hear about how negative it was and how, we were all going out of business. So, I mean, it just was very frustrating for me being a newcomer and seeing that, hey, I'm not listening to the same old that you're telling me every time. I don't see results and I don't understand why you people aren't taking this more seriously. And the franchise owners, I could see the frustration on their faces, the actual owners. I was a manager and I was there more to, find out what the new, POP, which is what they called it, which was the new, what the stores are going to look like, what are we going to do for Christmas and what kind of movies are coming out? I mean, I was more focused on that, but I also had worked in business long enough to watch the other things and the franchise owners getting really frustrated because they weren't getting the kind of the answers that they were looking for. They weren't getting the support and the help. And, and they were paying an enormous amount of fees. I mean, the amount of money that we were paying to Blockbuster every month was a good chunk of money to not be getting, the answers. So what
was the number? Was it 10% or was it more like 6%?
I think it was closer to 10, but I don't know because at the time, remember, I was doing a big number. Yeah, I was doing the payroll and personnel stuff, and I wasn't doing the financial stuff. So that'd be more of a question for Ken. But I know it was not cheap. I mean, we were definitely paying them a good chunk, and and definitely didn't feel like we were getting our bang for our buck kind of a thing.
That's the thing. That's the thing with franchisee. The people don't mind paying the money if the company at the top is doing their part. It becomes problematic when you're doing everything yourself and they're not coming out with anything for that 10% you're paying. It can be very frustrating.